What's up, dude? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are not doing a true crime video. Instead, we are going to do something a little bit different. This is kind of a hard topic to talk about because there is so much information to know, but I'm trying to just boil this down into sort of what you need to know about this topic. There's a lot of debate about it, and I'm very curious to see what you guys think. So let's just get right into it. So today we are going to be talking about copyright law. Now, the copyright law has had many changes over the years, like a lot of amendments, little tiny changes and adjustments as media and things that we produce today have changed. And honestly, I think we're going to see a really big change with the copyright law because of AI and the use of AI and like who owns the copyright for AI produced images. You know what I mean? Like, is it the computer that made the image or the person that typed the prompt in to get that image? And also, another thing you got to keep in mind is that AI uses things that are already out there and have already been created in order to create something new. So it's like, did they have some stake in it as well? Like the original artists of the pieces that AI uses to influence what they make? It's so hard to say, but that's not at all what we're talking about today. So I, right now, am on copyright.gov.com because I'm going to read a few things straight from their website just because I don't want to get it wrong. So I want you guys to know that what I'm reading, it's from copyright.gov because, like I said, I don't want to get it wrong. I want it to be worded correctly as it should be worded. So what is a copyright? Copyright is a form of protection grounded in the U.S. Constitution and granted by law for original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression. Copyright covers both published and unpublished works. So, for example, one thing that I was taught about copyright law, which, keep in mind, this was like almost 4 years ago now, but when I went to school for graphic design, we had to learn about copyrights and trademarks, and it was very interesting, but it's kind of tricky to understand. So, like, if I would draw a cartoon on a napkin, I own that cartoon. Even though it's not published, I own it. So, like, if somebody would rip off that napkin, I could come after them for that. Crazy, I know. So, what does a copyright protect? Copyright, a form of intellectual property law, protects original works of authorship, including literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works such as poetry, novels, movies, songs, computer software, and architecture. Copyright does not protect facts, ideas, systems, or methods of operation, although it may protect the way these things are expressed. I know. It's a lot, and it's difficult, and it's tricky, and there's a lot of ways around it, and people have tried, and anyways. So as it stands right now, so if you would write a book right now, like today, and it got published, and even if you didn't publish it, anyways, it would be under copyright for the length of your life, and then 70 years after you die, it's still protected by you. So I think then the copyright would go to whoever inherits your estate, and whoever you would say inherits this book, they then own that copyright, I believe is how it goes. No, that won't make any sense, because then it would be 70 years after they die. See how tricky this is? I don't know. Hold on. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I just Googled it. I was totally right. So, normally, the copyright is then transferred to the heir of your estate. And then after that, I don't know, and I'm not even going to guess because I don't want to say something that is not factually correct. So, like I said, there's been a lot of changes and whatnot to the copyright law, which is a good thing because the very first copyright law was the Copyright Act of 1790. So it is old, and thank God we've been able to change it over the past few hundred years. So the original law was that a copyright was good for 14 years plus the ability to renew it one time for an additional 14 years. So you could have it for 28 years. That was it. But also keep in mind, people were not living as long back then as they are now today. So that's probably why, if I would have to guess. After 40 years, the law was then changed to 28 years. And then 180 years after the law was initially established, in 1976, it was extended once again. Either 75 years or the life of the author plus 50 years. And then in 1998, the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998 was established. So the law is more popularly known as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. We'll get into that. The law extends the copyright duration of a work that was created on or after January 1st, 1978 to the life of the author and then 70 years after their death. So since the 90s, the Walt Disney Company has been lobbying for an extension of the Copyright Act because we will get to that in a minute. So one thing that held me up about this was that it was called the Sonny Bono Act, and I was like, what did Sonny have to do with it? Like, as in Sonny and Cher, that Sonny. Well, turns out Mary Bono, Sonny's widow and congressional successor, yes, Sonny was a politician, and I might do a video on that later because I think that is very silly, but she was a congresswoman who also supported extending the law. Corporate works are protected for 95 years from their original publication date or 120 years from creation, whichever would expire first. Steamboat Willie, a Walt Disney production, was first published in 1928, which means that this is the last year he is protected under the copyright law. Now remember, with the help of Disney, the copyright law has already been changed and extended, and they continue to lobby for this extension just so that they can continue to hold the copyright of all these characters and all these movies and all these things that they have created. So that means that next year, Steamboat Willie, now just remember, it is only Steamboat Willie. That version of Mickey Mouse is going to enter the public domain. So that means anybody can use, publish, change, alter in any kind of way to their heart's content. You can now freely use Steamboat Willie next year, if this happens. Next year, you will be able to put, if you want to, you could put Steamboat Willie on a t-shirt, and Walt Disney couldn't do anything about it. Which, if you know anything about Disney, you know that they are insanely protective of their characters and any intellectual property that they have. They have even gone after daycare centers who have put Disney characters in murals out on their building. They have gone after them and sued them and successfully won because they were illegally using something that Walt Disney had created. They didn't have the rights to do that, so Disney went after them and sued them. And in college, we were warned extensively to be careful about using anything that could even remotely possibly look like a Disney character, because Disney will come after you if you try to publish it or make a product with that design on it. Disney will come after you because they are insane about protecting their works, which I fully do understand. I don't think it's bad that they're like that, but we also heard about a case where there was this guy that created a pattern, and it had like a bunch of different dogs on this just, nice printed pattern that he was selling, and some of these dogs coincidentally looked vaguely similar to some Disney dogs. So Disney went after him and sued him. And the court ruled in favor of Disney. And they were like, yeah, sorry, man. It looks too closely to Disney characters. So you can't use that. Then Disney went and used that same exact pattern with a couple of, minor changes. They did change it somewhat. They used that pattern on some of their merchandise. And it was totally legal for them to do that. And, this guy argued, like, no, I didn't. So these dogs look like dogs in Disney movies. They are popular dog breeds. It's just a breed of dog that you can only alter to look so different before it doesn't even look recognizable to that breed that you're trying to illustrate. But the court still ruled in favor of Disney, and they used this guy's pattern. Keep in mind, they did change it. It was changed, but still, you could see it was extremely similar. I saw side by sides, and if I can find it, I will put it in here. I just have to try to find it. But Disney is insane about this kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. But sometimes you kind of wonder, is it more of a power trip than them trying to legally protect their works? Anyways, I could go off on a rant for hours about that one because it really is something. But, it is what it is. Steamboat Willie has almost entered the public domain 4 separate times already. Once in 1955, but then it was renewed to 1986, and then in 2000, okay, I have 2001, but I thought it was 2003 actually. Yeah, and then in 2003, but then it was protected under the Mickey Mouse Protection Act, or the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act, that one. And then now again in 2023, it expires this year, so we'll see what happens for next year. Supposedly, the extensions were a response by Congress due to the extensive lobbying by the Walt Disney Company. It's a big company. They have a lot of money to put towards these kinds of things if they want to see change. The character of Mickey Mouse is still trademarked by Disney, so that's kind of tough. So because the character of Mickey Mouse is still trademarked by the Walt Disney Company, that will limit how a product can be marketed, so people don't believe that the product, so say for example you have a purse that has Steamboat Willie on it, you have to be careful how you market it because it's a product that, say, John Smith made. You have to be cautious that you don't make it seem like it is something from Disney, because they'll get you for that one. But yeah, anyways, I guess now companies have, for the past, honestly, I think for the past year now, companies have been starting to create products with Steamboat Willie on them, like t-shirts. I have seen purses. I think Supreme is possibly doing something with it. I'm not totally sure. But they're all anticipating that possibly Steamboat Willie will enter the public domain, and they want to have their products ready to go so that come January 1st, when he's no longer protected by the Disney Company, that they can start selling all these products with Steamboat Willie on them. So I saw an article about this. I think it was like a year ago. And I've seen purses and shoes and shirts that have Steamboat Willie on them that aren't made by the Disney Company. So it'll be very interesting to see towards the end of this year if we have any changes in the copyright law. Personally, I could see it happening where Disney gets it changed once again, but also, who knows, maybe Congress will say, hey, you know what, enough is enough, we can't keep extending this just because of one company that has major power and influence and deep pockets just for you guys. Sorry, but no, we are not doing that anymore, because soon it's going to be to where like something's copyrighted forever, that you can't use a piece of work forever. Okay, copyright is so tricky because fan art is something totally different, which Disney has gone after fan art. Fan art is okay to make. You can make fan art of like Marvel characters. I know that's really popular and people do fan art of Marvel characters. I know there's other big franchises. Harry Potter, I think people do a lot of fan art of Harry Potter. That's okay. You just can't sell it. You can reproduce it. You can kind of give it out to friends and family, but you cannot sell it. You can't make any money off of something that someone owns a copyright for. And believe it or not, Disney has gone after people who have made fan art of Disney characters. I actually had a friend in 4-H. When we were at the fair, he did a drawing of a bunch of Disney characters, and they even warned him about it. And it was a county fair, and they were warning him about being careful about doing stuff like that. So they called it fan art. That's what they classified it under. But still, with Disney, you gotta be careful, man. So anyways, that's pretty much what this video is. Do you or do you not think that Disney is going to be able to extend our copyright laws once again? I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Be sure to comment it down below. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will be back with another video again on Friday. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe it'll be a Sonny Bono video. I don't know. Comment down below if that's something you'd be interested in, learning a little bit more about him. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on Friday. Bye, guys.